Hello my friends. Lesson 10. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20, 1889, in a small town called Braunau am Inn, in Austria. His father, Alois Hitler, was a strict man who worked as a customs officer. His mother, Clara Hitler, was kind and caring. Adolf was the fourth of 6 children, but only he and one sister survived to adulthood. As a child, Adolf was quiet and liked to draw. He loved art and wanted to become an artist. He had many problems at school. His father wanted him to work in government jobs, but Adolf did not like school rules. He argued with teachers and often skipped lessons. In 1903, his father died. This was very hard for young Adolf. He was very close to his mother. She died 5 years later, in 1908. Adolf was 19 years old. After her death, he moved to Vienna, Austria, to try his luck as an artist. In Vienna, Adolf faced many difficulties. He wanted to study at the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts, but he was rejected twice. He lived in small rooms, sometimes on the streets, and struggled with money. During this time, he became interested in politics and started reading about German history and nationalism. This period of his life shaped his ideas and dreams for the future. He was poor, lonely, and angry at the world. These feelings influenced his choices later in life. In 1913, Adolf Hitler moved to Munich, Germany. He wanted to be a German citizen and start a new life. In 1914, World War I began. Hitler joined the German army and became a soldier. He worked as a messenger, carrying messages between the front lines and the commanders. Hitler was very loyal to Germany. He fought in many battles and was injured several times. In 1918, he was temporarily blinded by a gas attack. He was awarded 2 medals for bravery. During the war, Hitler became very patriotic and developed strong feelings of nationalism. The war ended in 1918. Germany lost the war, and many people were unhappy. Hitler, like many others, felt angry and betrayed. He believed that Germany needed strong leadership to become powerful again. The experiences of the war shaped his future political ideas and ambitions. After World War I, Germany was in chaos. The economy was very bad, and many people were poor and unhappy. Adolf Hitler stayed in Munich and worked for the army. He was asked to join a small political group called the German Workers' Party. He accepted the offer and soon became one of its leaders. Hitler was a strong speaker. He could make people listen and feel excited about his ideas. He spoke about German pride, nationalism, and the need to rebuild Germany. Many people liked his speeches and joined his group. In 1923, Hitler and his supporters tried to take control of the government in an event called the Beer Hall Putsch. The plan failed, and Hitler was arrested. He went to prison for 1 year. During this time, he wrote a book called Mein Kampf. In the book, he explained his ideas about Germany, politics, and his hatred for certain groups of people. Even though the putsch failed, Hitler became famous in Germany. People knew his name, and many began to follow him. He learned important lessons about politics and decided that he would use elections, not violence, to gain power in the future. In the late 1920s and early 1930s, Germany faced many problems. The economy was very weak after the First World War and the Great Depression. Many people were unemployed and angry at the government. Adolf Hitler used these problems to gain support. Hitler and his party, the National Socialist German Workers' Party, NSDAP, promised to make Germany strong again. They said they would create jobs, rebuild the army, and bring pride back to the country. Hitler became famous for his speeches, which were full of emotion and energy. In 1932, Hitler ran for president but lost. However, his party became very powerful in the German parliament. In January 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. Soon after, he took steps to gain full control. He used propaganda, violence, and strict laws to silence his opponents. By 1934, after the death of President Hindenburg, Hitler combined the positions of Chancellor and President, becoming the Führer of Germany. He had total power. People who disagreed with him were arrested, sent to concentration camps, or killed. Hitler's rise to power showed how a strong speaker, combined with economic and social problems, could change a country completely. In 1939, Adolf Hitler started World War II. He wanted to expand Germany and take control of Europe. He first invaded Poland on September 1, 1939. Many countries, including Britain and France, declared war on Germany. Hitler's army, called the Wehrmacht, used fast and powerful attacks called Blitzkrieg or Lightning War. They quickly defeated Poland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, and France. By 1941, Germany controlled most of Western Europe. Hitler also made an alliance with Italy and Japan, forming the Axis powers. In June 1941, Germany invaded the Soviet Union, starting one of the largest battles in history. The fighting was very brutal, and millions of soldiers and civilians died. During the war, Hitler made many mistakes. He underestimated the Soviet Union and the United States. In 1944, the Allies, Britain, the United States, and the Soviet Union, began to push Germany back. Hitler refused to surrender. He believed he could still win, but the situation was hopeless. World War II was one of the deadliest wars in history. More than 60 million people died, including soldiers and civilians. Hitler's decisions caused massive destruction and suffering across Europe. One of the most terrible parts of Hitler's rule was the Holocaust. Hitler and the Nazis wanted to remove all Jewish people and other groups they considered enemies. These included Romani people, disabled people, and political opponents. The Nazis forced millions of people to leave their homes and go to concentration camps. Life in these camps was very harsh. People had very little food, no proper medical care, and were forced to work very hard. Many were killed in gas chambers or died from hunger, disease, and abuse. The Holocaust was planned and organized. Hitler and his government created laws to remove Jewish people from schools, jobs, and public life. They also spread propaganda, blaming Jewish people for Germany's problems. By the end of the war, about 6 million Jewish people and millions of others had died. The Holocaust is remembered today as one of the worst crimes in human history. It shows the dangers of hatred, racism and totalitarian power. By 1945, World War II was ending, and Germany was losing. The Allies were closing in from the west, and the Soviet army was coming from the east. Cities in Germany were destroyed by bombs, and millions of people were suffering. Adolf Hitler stayed in Berlin, in a bunker under the city. He refused to surrender. Many of his leaders were dead or had abandoned him. Hitler knew the war was lost, but he could not accept defeat. On April 30, 1945, Adolf Hitler killed himself in his bunker. His wife, Eva Braun, also died with him. Soon after, Germany surrendered to the Allies, and World War II ended in Europe. Hitler's death marked the end of Nazi rule, but the consequences of his actions were felt for many years. The war and Hitler's rule caused enormous destruction. Millions of people died, cities were ruined, and countries had to rebuild. Hitler's life shows how one person's ideas and actions can change the world in dangerous ways. Adolf Hitler left a dark legacy. His ideas and actions caused the deaths of millions of people and changed the world forever. The countries of Europe were destroyed, and many families lost loved ones. After the war, the world learned important lessons about the dangers of totalitarianism, hatred, and discrimination. Governments and organizations work today to prevent such crimes from happening again. Hitler is remembered as a symbol of evil. Schools, museums, and books teach people about his life and the consequences of his rule. People study this history to understand how prejudice, propaganda, and dictatorship can lead to terrible outcomes. Although Hitler died more than 70 years ago, his actions still affect the world.